Welcome. I am Crimey Queen, and if you are joining us for the first time, it's the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we actualize self-love with the use of scriptural references from the King James Version in particular, and of course, not forgetting our own inferences, influences, experiences, conditions, practices, religious beliefs, and limitations, and everything else that we call experience, that which helps us, of course, to make informed choices and be our point of reference in turn. Also, we call on revelation, reflection, waters, which is Mother Eve, the serpent, Satan, Saturn, that which we have been conditioned to be afraid of, but now we call this into being in the sense of the attributions. So I'm being careful not to say call the serpent right here, so I see a serpent just roaming around me right now, but it is the attributes of the serpent that we are talking about. It is said to be cunning, sly, shy, stingy, singing. We see that in Jungle Book. It loves to sing. It's also the sign, a sign, because the word sing is really SIGN, the same letters. So basically, it's really getting to understand that which we are made of, because the serpent equals number 7, we are 7, and in fact when we look at the history of all creation, we will see that we are an embodiment of everything that is. Yes, so if we are scared or petrified of the serpent, it means there are aspects of ourselves that we are scared of or afraid of. Simple equation. And so it is with that knowing or understanding that we are looking and delving into the scriptures, getting a sense of understanding our makeup, because it does offer a very good insight of our makeup, how we were created, and we may not get the whole understanding of it, but certainly we are at liberty to delve deep enough to get a sense of self, a sense of beingness, a sense of who we are, where we come from, and where we are going. And of course, that is our daily occupation. We are always doing something, and afterwards we think, okay, what next? Meaning we are always occupied with the past, the present, and the future. Wow, I've got to do something on that right now. Right now, past, present, and future. I do want this information on here, but we have to get the past. So present we know is 7. Past is, let's do this. I do want this information. Okay, I put it in my memory bank and come back to it. That's the thing. We need to trust every aspect of our being. Trust that we can remember what we need to remember at the right time, space, and sequence. So this is what I'm trying. That's what I am doing. So past, present. We know about the present, which is wonderful. This is what we have been doing with Mother Eve. Made a wonderful, and future. Future. Wow. It's amazing the style of writing, that flow there with the capital letters here and the U, the 2 U's here. Okay, so we know present is 7, the serpent. that which we are. So we are forever present, really. And that was what was in the Garden of Eden. It was the serpent was the present. I worked this out when I was writing my volume of the Crimson Light, but and I saw this and I really laughed. But I'm getting, of course, a deeper insight of the whole story right now. So it was something that was pre-sent. It was already sent. It was already there, meaning that we are when we are being present, there were aspect of us that it's like the past and the it's because sent is denoting it was a past, and pre is denoting it was before. So we can see the element of present right there. It's like okay, it will come. So I call Mother Eve to be the spokesperson right now, because she is the said God after all. So we are looking at past, and past has in it, let's look at the middle. I like to do that now. I like to focus within, which means we can do that with present. We can do that. This is why Mother Eve, I think she kind of just holds my tongue in place and gives me a little moment to have a breather and to point out the way forward. That's what it is. That's what she does. I'm not complaining at all. Wow. Pens. We want to write. P-R-E-S-E-N-T. Okay. So we have reason, which we really usually say reason, but we have reason. We can see a lot with the word present right here. So as I say, the first letter is always giving us, it's as if it's the stop sign, it's the sign that gives, it's like you see an H for hospital on a map. That's what the letters do. The first letter will give you an indication of what follows, or the umbrella of whatever is. And of course the last letter is like a signature. It's like the two together sort of like they hold everything in place. Let's get another pen. Okay, so we have present here. We have R-E-S-E-N. Now Mother Eve is clear about having me look at let there be light, and there was light. So this is something we will be examining, and doing that, of course, is what we want to announce. Let there be light, and there was light. And of course, okay, so we have as, and then we have future. Let's see what future is in the middle. It's like, is there a place called Utah or Utah in America or something? But we could see it as utter, when you're uttering something, which is U-T-T-E-R, but it's like utter. So by looking at these functions here, we call them functions, that will be able to tell us how we can make sense of our future, our past, and our present. So F, of course, we see F-E, this would be 6 and 5, which denotes 6 and 5 here together is 11. So that is like on the middle of our template. So that in itself is reminding me of Jesus Christ, who was sent. So there we have the word Jesus. Jesus equals 11, and Christ, of course, is 5. 5 and 2 is 7. So Jesus, it would be said that here there was a messenger or a Messiah or a Savior. So we see 2 as 11 in that form is right there. It's like, of course, 6, which is actually 9. When we do the numerical value for 9, it is 6. So we could say this is beginning and end. So the future entails in it, this is what we are learning about the function of the letters and their position, particularly the first and the last letters. So we are seeing that 9, just in case you are new to this channel, we do this based on a sacrifice template. And let's have 9 here so you can see this, NINE, which is 5, 9, 5, 5. When we add this up, this is 19, 20, 24. 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's how we get to know the numbers. It's important we get to know the numbers so we can know how they function in our lives and how we can use them as well to benefit all lives. Okay, so we see that 9 is also 6. Now, likewise, 11 is also 9. 911, right, is also 9. So we can see 9 is 6 and 11 is 9. Okay. And of course, we can see how 11 is already playing out here. So basically, we see the 2 letters right here is already teaching us about there is an 11 in here, and there is the 6 in there, and there is 9 in there. But not to confuse you, let's look at what is in here. We have 2 U's here. Now, the cross, I call it the cross in the middle, is like, this is where it is said that the cross is, of course, it is of 4 points. It denotes everything that Jesus Christ represents. It is a symbol of completeness in its sense. It is a symbol of humility. It is a symbol of submission, a symbol of harmony, a symbol of joining. It forms a rock. It forms that, as I say, it's the join of the 4 points in itself. When we see 4, we are looking at FOUR. It has in it our. It's like, for instance, the F, which is like seen as the face, like in Facebook, we could say, or the front, or frontier, whatever we want to see the F as in this sense, or the cross, because basically it's really, again, denoting as if it was the cross, that, of course, should I really put it this way? So yes, we can say that. So we have the 2 F's here. It's as if that one of these, the top or whatever, can swivel the other way. So it would be this, but we can imagine this changing position here. So the F is really like when, telling us that you are not seeing the whole aspect of the 4 points, in that way you are seeing one dimension or one facet of the whole. In that sense, you are not looking at the cross as it were like this, but you are actually seeing it on another dimension, not this way. Okay, but so basically we are seeing 2 points onto one side and not on the other. So that's just looking at that aspect. But if we do the numerical value for utter, so it's like really saying, for instance, what I'm already getting, there is 2, the 11 is actually 2, so we are uttering between 2 aspects of ourselves. Utter is in the middle. It's like saying we are uttering, utter, which is from the speech, which is from Mother Eve, because that's what we are doing. The future for us is really in our vision and our speech. We are not actually doing anything in the future. What we are always doing something in the present moment. So, but when we think of future, we are thinking words. We are uttering in our minds, in our speech. We are calling the future. We are calling May that is not right now, but we are calling it forward into now. So it's the 2 we are gelling the 2 you aspect of ourselves, the 2W, the past and the future. We are calling these 2 into coming into the present. So basically the 4 here would denote present. The cross, actually I call it 4 because I'm looking at 4 points, and points actually equals 3. So we are calling, so that vibration, we are calling the vibration of 4, which actually when we do the numerical value for 4 equals 24, which 2 plus 4 is 6. So we are calling these 2 aspects, we are joining free hair and free hair into this aspect with the view to gain 9, because we always have a birthing. The 9 here is the birth that we are anticipating will happen or will not happen. So that's the future. So when we see RE, the E now after the R that we have birthed is Mother Eve taking us, which is the end. It's denoting the end of that cycle that we have uttered, and it is, of course, we are at liberty to come back into the present. E would be present, or whether we still going into past, or but we are doing future. So the F here, we are looking at one side, one aspect, one side of the face. We are not yet looking at the 4 points here, the north, south, east, and west. Even if we do that in the process, but we are taking one aspect of it, it's as though we have shifted part of the 4 points of our north, south, east, west. North, south, east, west. But it's as if we have taken the west part, this part here, we have taken it and we have shifted it here. This is what we have done. We have shifted, we have broken from the west, which really is the past. I don't know if it has the same numerical value as west, but we have shifted, we have broken from that part, and we are looking towards the north or the east. We are looking that way to make whatever vision, future, picture, utterances. It's funny I should say future, and the word future, furnish, the U words, but we are bringing that W, the W, and to have the W, this is where we are looking at the picture. The picture is now, it becomes our north, south, east, and west. So basically we have taken the F and put it here in this north, south, east, and west to gel our U present and our U, or our U past, because at that time this is what we are doing. Our past you and our future you, we are joining these together and to birth an R. And with that expectation of whatever we are birthing, of course we have at the end, because end is Mother Eve, we in the end is 5, end is key, end is close, is lock. We are locking whatever it is we are doing, we are locking it here with E. And E in that fact is also the vibration, which is the 8-petal flower, which is 3. This is E, 3, M, and W. So we are locking all of this in here, whatever we utter, whatever we have seen in that vision, and that becomes our experience of the 8-petal flower. We have locked it in. So this to me is a very explicit way of seeing how we can visualize what we want into being. It really helps me to see it clearer. So we know that we are uttering something. We are uttering our whatever it is into being. Whatever north, south, east, and west, whatever we want to create in that aspect, because here we are doing our news, our north, south, east, and west, right here in that T. Perhaps it is fair to say that that's what T always represents, our news, our north, south, east, and west. And of course, very much so, because that would be exactly what it was for Christ on the cross. The north, south, east, and west, the submission. So in that submissive state is the whole picture of everything right there. It's like saying, I have had the whole picture now. This is when Christ has said it is finished, like it is furnished. It is finished because it is furnished. We can see, of course, the U's can be turned upside down to see that word, F-I-N, I-S. Of course, the S is denoting Mother Eve is in there because she is with the E at the end. Okay, so so the words E at the end to really lock all of this in is, I think it's very beautiful. No doubt it's something to explore again. So perhaps do join me again. I want to look at this a little bit closer. As I say, I do things intuitively, and hoping we can do a series of these and get us to have even a closer way of how we actually visualize and project our images into being. Yes, because I'm all about that too. That's Mother Eve.